Hello and welcome. My name is Savannah and today's class will be all about the hips. We will be focusing on not only opening and stretching the hips, but also on strengthening the hips. We will begin lying on our back in Shavasana. So making sure you are comfortable. You can have the knees bent, feet off to the sides of your mat, or maybe feet together, knees open up into Baddha Konasana, bound angle, or legs go long, arms alongside the body, whatever feels good for you. Just make sure that you can settle in here, make yourself comfortable, make any movements that you need to. And then as you are ready, start to tune into your breath. Can you notice if the inhale is longer than the exhale? Or if the exhale is longer than the inhale? Can you notice which part of your breath is easiest for you to connect in with? Can you begin to breathe a little bit deeper? How much more aware of your breath can you be? Notice if you can hear your breath. If you can hear your breath, that will help you to connect in with it. And as you practice on your mat today, as you hear your breath, you can stay connected to your breath for the whole class. The breath brings you back to this present moment. Can you even out the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale now? We'll take about 3 more breaths before we find some movement. One more breath. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Allow everything to settle in. Softly bend into the knees if they were not bent already, bringing the soles of the feet down to the mat. And then bringing the feet out to the edges of your mat, knees up to the ceiling. We'll take the knees from right to left, just from side to side. You can move as fast or as slowly as you like. You can find a big or a small range of motion. From here, when the knees go to the right, place your right foot over your left knee. Extend your left arm long and look towards the left. 5 breaths here. Allow the right foot on the left knee to press that knee down towards the mat. Finding a stretch in the hip flexor and maybe also in the quadricep. Come fully into your breath. And always remembering to find a version of the pose that works well for your body and how you are feeling today. Let's release. Bring both feet back down from the knees up through center, and then just windshield wiper the knees from side to side once again. And then the next time that the knees come to the left, leave them there. Place the left foot over the right ankle, over the right knee, guiding the knee down, the right knee down towards the ground a little bit more. And then extend your right arm out to the right side, looking towards the right hand if that feels okay for your neck. Breathing here in this gentle twist. Opening up the hip flexor and the quadricep a little bit, quadriceps. Settling into this pose. Allow your mat to support you. Allow your breath to ground you. One more breath. Release, bring the legs back through center, feet come to the mat. Bring the right foot in towards the center of your mat, leg is still bent. Bring the left leg straight up towards the ceiling, hands go to the hamstring, the left hamstring. You can point and flex the left foot. Maybe you find some circles for the left ankle. And from here, press the thigh into your hands and your hands back into your thigh. Get very active in this pose. Release the hands, bring the arms down to the mat, and see if you can bring that leg closer in towards your face. Grab back onto the hamstring. Hand presses into the thigh, thigh presses into the hand. Stay very active here. And then once again, release hold of the hamstring. Allow the leg to come a little bit closer in if you can. Hands come to the hamstring. Press the thigh into the hands. Hands back into the thigh. Release. Hands come down to the mat. See if you can bring the leg a little bit closer in towards you. And from here, just start to take that left leg to the left a little bit and then to the right. Finding as much of a range of motion as you like. Maybe you start small and you gradually make it bigger. If you like, you can extend the right leg long, or you can keep it bent. Let's now bend the left foot down towards the center of the mat, knee up towards the ceiling, and then the right leg extends long, hands come to the hamstring. Allow both shoulders to rest down onto the mat, head relaxes down. Let's point and flex the right toes a few times, and then you can make some ankle circles going in each direction a couple times. Good, from here, press the right thigh into the hands, and then the hands back into the thigh. Stay very active, feel very strong in your leg. From here, release your hands down, and see if you can bring the thigh closer in towards your face. Or your thigh closer in towards your chest or your belly. Hands come to the back of your thigh. Hands press into thigh, thigh presses into hands. Once again, feel very strong and active in this position. Left foot presses down into the ground a little bit as well. Hands come down to the mat. See if you can bring the leg a little bit closer in. Last time here, hands come to the hamstring. Press the thigh into the hands, away from you, and then press the hands into the thigh to bring the thigh closer in. Good, release the hands down. See if you can bring that leg closer in one more time. Maybe you start to shake, that is okay. Good work for the hamstring. Now we'll move into that motion from side to side. So right leg goes towards the right and then towards the left. If you like, you can keep the left leg bent, foot on the mat, or you can straighten it out long. Just keep moving the left leg from side to side. The right leg is moving side to side. Let's do a few more. Last one here. Good. Hug both knees into your chest. Rock from side to side a little bit here. Hands come onto the mat and start to straighten and then bend the legs. Straighten the legs, take the legs long, take them back together, bend the legs a few more times. So knees into the chest, then straighten the legs up, take the legs wide into a V, come back together, bend the legs into the chest. Extend the legs long, legs come into a V shape, bring the legs back together, knees come in. One more. Legs up, straight and long towards the ceiling. Legs come into a V, bring them back together, and the knees come into the chest. Wrap your arms around your knees and rock from side to side. From here, take your time to come into a tabletop position. Onto hands and knees, shoulders over wrists, hips over top of the knees. Fingers are spread nice and far apart. Root down through all 10 fingers, root down through your knees and the tops of your feet. Let's extend the right foot up towards the ceiling. So the leg is bent at about 90 degrees, and let's lift and lower here. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower in line with the other knee. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower down towards the mat. Keep moving here with this movement at your own pace. Try to isolate the movement just to your hip or your glute muscles. So you're not moving your spine, you're not moving your head or your shoulders, you're not moving your arms. Everything else in your body is staying very still, very much the same. From here, take the leg long on your mat, leg is extended, lift it up and lower. Lift, inhale, exhale, lower. One more time here. Let's extend the right leg out to the side now, so your foot is off of your mat, and lift it up and lower here. Try not to lean too far over towards your left hand, keep both weight even through both hands. Let's do a few more. Good, come back to tabletop and let's try that on the other side. So left leg comes up towards the ceiling, leg is bent at about 90 degrees, foot is flexed, like you're stomping the ceiling with your foot. Inhale, lift it up, exhale, lower in line with your other knee. Inhale, lift it up, exhale. Go at your own pace, moving as fast or as slow as you like. Maybe you make the range of motion bigger, or maybe it feels better to make it smaller. really though try to isolate this to the hip joint. So you're not moving your shoulders, your spine, you're not moving your arms, bending the elbows. Every other part of your body is staying the same. Let's now extend the leg long and lift and lower from here. Continue with this. We'll do a few more. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. You're looking towards the top of your mat, so a few feet out in front of your hands. Now we'll take that leg out to the side, so your foot is off of your mat, and you'll lift and lower the leg from here. Try to keep the weight even in both of your hands. Let's do 2 more. Last one here. Good, bring both knees in. From here, let's move into fire hydrants. We'll do about 20 on each side. So starting with the right side, leg is bent to 90 degrees, foot is flexed. You'll lift the leg out towards the right side, lower it back in line with the other knee. Lift it to the side, lower it. This is 3, 4, 5, about 15 more to go. If you need a break, you can take a break, but we're really warming up the hips here. Preparing the body, preparing the hips for what is to come later on in our practice. Let's do 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Just feel this in your outer hip. Last one. Good. Move right onto the other side. Same thing here, flexing the left foot, lifting it to this left side, and lower it back in line with the right knee. Allow your shoulders to be square towards the front of your mat. Every other part of your body, aside from your hip and your leg, is staying the same. If you can, inhale as you lift the leg and exhale as you lower it. Connect the movement with your breath. Let's do 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, bring the knee down. Big toes together, knees go far apart. Sit back into a child's pose. We're just going to be here for 3 breaths though, so it's just a quick one. Allow the forehead to rest down, arms stretch out long in front of you. Connect in with your breath. Notice how your hips are feeling. From here, let's make our way into our first downward facing dog. So fingers spread nice and far apart. Toes tucked under, behind you. Lift your hips up and back towards the ceiling. Legs can be as bent as they need to be. Heels do not need to be touching the mat. But can you find some more length in your spine in your down dog? Let's make our way to the front of our space. Feet will meet the hands, top of the mat. In your forward fold here, bend your knees as much as you need to. Allow your chest, your belly to rest down onto your thighs. You can bring opposite hand to opposite elbow. And think about tearing your feet away from each other. Dialing your feet out. This is really going to activate and engage the lateral part of your leg, all the way up to the outer hip. So think about tearing your mat apart as you engage the leg, as you bring the feet apart from one another. Crown of the head relaxes down towards the ground. You might also be feeling your hamstrings really turn on here. Maybe your calves as well. You should really be feeling the lateral parts of your leg. Allow your shoulders, your head, your neck to all relax. Drop down towards the ground. From here, plant the palms down, step the right foot back, lower the right knee down, reach the arms up. Think of bringing the right knee and the left foot towards one another, like you were going to scrunch up the mat. Bring the hands down, step back up to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway, lift, hands come onto the shins. And then step back with the other foot to your left foot. Left knee lowers down, arms can reach up. Think of bringing your left knee and your right foot closer towards one another. Notice where you are feeling this pose in your body. Shoulders stack over the hips. Right knee is directly over the ankle. Let's bring the hands back down and we'll repeat that. Step up top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the right foot back. Right knee lowers down, arms reach up. Left knee is directly over the left ankle. Shoulders over the hips. Find space and length along your spine here. And again, think of bringing the back knee and the front foot closer in towards one another. Bring the hands down, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold as we step the left foot back of the mat, lower the knee down, arms reach up. Breathe here. Left knee and right foot come towards one another. Right knee is stacked directly over the ankle. Hands come down, step to the top of your mat, inhale, halfway lift, exhale to fold. We'll hang out here in our forward fold for a few breaths. And again, think of bringing the feet away from one another, dialing the feet out. Feel that engage into your outer hip muscles and all along the outer leg. Let's now step the right foot back. Bring the hands to the inside of the left foot and heel toe the left foot farther towards the left side of your mat. You're in an active lizard pose. So oftentimes when we do lizard pose, we bring that back knee down and maybe we also come onto the forearms. This time we're lifting up the back knee. We're staying with the arms extended, very active in both of the legs. The chest is lifted up. The crown of the head reaches towards the front of the space. The right heel extends farther back behind you. One more breath. Bring the left foot back towards the center of your mat and step up into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Step the left foot back. Heel toe the right foot, so it's towards the right side of your mat, hands to the inside of that foot. Extend the left heel further behind you, back of the room. Reach your heart and the crown of your head forward towards the front of your room. Fingers, all 10 fingers are spread nice and far apart. Can you be even more active in this left leg? 3 more breaths. Last breath. Breathing in and out through the nose throughout your class. Bring the right foot back towards the center of your mat. Step up to the top of your mat, feet meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Let's come all the way up with a nice long spine. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Notice how your hips, your hamstrings are feeling. Let's grab opposite hand to opposite elbow. Dial the feet away from one another. So really think about bringing your toes towards the sides, towards the edges of your mat. Maybe you think about bringing the heels in and the toes out, but isometrically. So you're not actually moving, but you're really feeling this engagement in your outer hip. Release the hands down, step the right foot back, extend the right heel further back behind you. Reach your arms back alongside your body. Runner's lunge. If you prefer, you can leave the hands down, fingers down to the mat. So your chest is super low over the left thigh. You can think about having your eyebrows directly over your toes. Let's release the hands down, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step back now with your left foot. Extend the left heel further back behind you, either staying on tented fingertips, so the palm is lifted. You're just on the finger pads, or reach the arms back alongside your body. Extend up through the chest and through the spine. Pull the heart forward. Find more space in the spine. Find equal amounts of strength in both of your legs. Allow your chest to hover over your right thigh. Release the hands down, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the palms down, step back to plank. From your plank, lower all the way down to your belly. From here, bring your hands, one on top of the other, rest your forehead down onto your hands. Let's bend both knees, feet up towards the ceiling, and try to lift and lower the legs. So this movement will be quite small. Just do what you can, find what works for you, work with your breath. Let's do 2 more. Last one here. Release. Rest your forehead down onto your hands. Stay here and breathe. Notice all this good work you are doing for your body. Make your way back to your downward facing dog. Tucking the toes under, coming through either tabletop or plank, pressing your hips back. Right away from here, let's step the right foot through to the outside of the hands. Lower the back knee down. Now we're coming into lizard pose with the back knee down. You can stay up onto the hands, or if you would like to, you can come onto the forearms. We're just here for a couple more breaths. From here, step back to downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Left foot steps up. Top of the mat to the outside of both hands. Release the back knee down. Coming down onto the top of the foot. Staying lifted here on the hands, arms extended, or coming down onto the forearms, elbows. Work with your breath in every pose that we move through today. This will help you in your practice to work on opening up the hips. If you're ever in a pose and you're not able to breathe fully and deeply, that means that maybe you should back off out of the pose. You might have gone a little bit too far. So just dial it back. Work on your breathing, and maybe you can try to come back to that pose again. Let's return back into our downward facing dog, stepping the left foot back. Hips lift up and back. Inhale, look forward to your hands. Top of the mat, make your way there, feet meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to fold. Step back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot through in between the hands. Bring your back foot into warrior two. So the back foot is parallel to the back of your mat, or maybe slightly turned in. Bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. So this is a variation of warrior two to work on opening up and strengthening the hips. So double duty here. So hands are down to the inside of the right foot. If you would like to, you can bring the right foot a little bit towards the right. You can come up onto tented fingertips if you like, bringing more weight into your legs, less into your upper body. Or you can bring your hands together at your heart center. Your chest is hovering over your right thigh, a little bit tilted towards the top left corner of your mat. One more breath. Bring the hands down. Frame the foot with your hands. Come onto the ball of the back foot so your heel is lifted. And then just start to straighten into your right leg. You can walk your hands back. You can stay lifted here, or you can fold down. Okay, let's return back to our downward facing dog now. Hands plant down, fingers spread nice and far apart, step back, down dog. Stepping the left foot through, top of the mat, bring the right heel down so the foot is about parallel to the back of your mat, or maybe slightly turned in if that feels better for you. You can bring the left foot a little bit out towards the left, hands to the inside of the left foot. Knee is about over the ankle. Hands can be flat, or you can come up onto tented fingertips, or you can bring your hands together at your heart center. Try to stay nice and low here in your upper body. Two more breaths. Think of bringing the feet towards one another. And then maybe you try bringing the feet away from one another like you were going to rip your mat apart. Notice how that changes the pose. Bring the hands down, frame your foot, your left foot with your hands, come onto the ball of the right foot so the right heel is lifted, and then begin to straighten your left leg. Send the hips back, you can walk your hands back. We won't be here for long, so come into your version of the pose and breathe. Hands planked back to the top of your mat, fingers spread nice and far apart. Step it back into your downward facing dog. Step your right foot through between your hands. We're going to come into pyramid here. So bring the back heel down, toes are pointed, your left toes are pointed towards the top left corner of your mat. So the foot is angled at 45 degrees. Come all the way up to stand. Warrior one first. And then we'll bring the hands to the hips, straightening out the right leg. Maybe you step the foot a little bit, the back foot a little bit closer in if that feels better. Find length in your spine here, and then fold down into your pyramid. Inhale to come up to stand. Exhale to fold down. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. Keep moving with this. A few more times, going at your own pace. Think of bringing your left hip forward, your right hip back. Squaring the hips a little bit more as you do that. Let's just do two more. Last one here. Let's come back into warrior one. So maybe you step the back foot a little bit farther back, bend into your front leg, reach your arms up, find space, grow tall. And then bring the hands down, step back to downward facing dog. And let's stay in our down dog for a couple more breaths. Breathe in and out through the nose. Step the left foot through in between your hands. Bring the right heel down, bring the right foot closer in towards the left foot, coming into warrior one first. Shoulders over hips, bending into the left leg. Left knee is about over top of the ankle. Arms reach long overhead. From here, hands come to the hips, straighten the left leg. Preparing for pyramid, you can bring the back knee a little bit closer in towards the top of your mat if you like. And then when you're ready, exhale, lower down. Allow the spine to be parallel to the mat, or you can fold even farther if you like. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale takes you up. Your exhale breath lowers you down. Continue with this, going at your own pace and working with your breath. If you do this class again and if you'd like more of a challenge, you can try try it with your arms extended out long. Arms reaching towards the ceiling at the top, and then reaching towards the wall in front of you as you fold down. Let's do 2 more. Last one here now. Come up and then make your way back into warrior 1, finding that generous bend in your front leg. Arms reach up if they were not already. And then exhale, breath will take you down, hands plant down, step back to plank, come into your downward facing dog. From here, make your way to the top of your mat, feet meet your hands. Take your time to get there. And then bring your hands to your hips, come all the way up to stand with a nice long spine, bending into the knees. Let's bring our hands together at our heart center. Standing on the right leg, lift the left leg up. So the left foot is just in line with the right foot. It's just lifted a little bit. And then we're going to come into a halfway lift from here, standing on one leg. Folding forward, hinging from the hips. Once you're there, come back up to stand, and we'll try that just one more time. You might be shaking, that's good. It means you're working hard, you're building strength. You're using muscles you aren't used to using. Let's try that on the other side. So standing on the left foot, your right foot is just in line with the left foot. Hands together at heart center. Bringing all of your weight now into the left foot for your halfway lift. Fold forward, hinging from your hips. Maybe bending into your standing knee to lower down. Come back up. We'll do that one more time. Good. From here, moving into some more balancing work. So hands together at the heart center. Standing on your right leg. Sweep the left leg back behind you, coming into warrior 3, sometimes called airplane pose. And then come back up to standing. Keep doing that. Let's do one more now. And then from here, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to touch the ground with your hands. Come back to standing. Let's do 2 more. Last one here. Good. Come all the way up to stand. Let's switch sides. Maybe you shake it out a bit if you need to. And then we'll stand on the left side. Lifting the right leg up, hands start at heart center, sweeping that leg back behind you, warrior 3, or airplane pose, 3 of these before we move on. Good, and then from here we'll do the same movement, only we're going to reach the hands down to touch the ground. Move slowly and with control. If you lose your balance, that's completely okay. Just come right back into it when you're ready. Let's do one more. Come back up, shake it out. Inhale, reach the arms up, tall mountain. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, dial your feet away from one another. Notice where you feel this in your body. For me, I really feel it on the outer hip, the IT band. Fold down, step back to plank, and come into downward facing dog. Step your left foot through. Bring both feet so they are parallel to one another and parallel to the short edges of your mat for a wide-legged forward fold position. But now we're going to bring the hands to the hips, bending the knees a little bit, come up to stand. From here, you can have your hands at your hips, hands at heart center, hands, arms reaching up overhead for more of a challenge, whatever you like. I'm going to have my hands on my hips to start with. We're going to do the same thing we did in pyramid pose. So we're going to hinge forward from the hips, come into a forward fold or halfway lift, and then come all the way back up. We'll do about 10 of these. You can change your arm position as you get more comfortable with the movement. Or if you have your arms extended up and you're getting tired, you can change your arm position so your hands are on your hips or hands together at heart center. Really think about tearing your mat apart with your feet. Notice how that changes the movement. Let's do 3 more. And from here, fold forward and hold here with your halfway lift. You can have your arms wherever you like. Maybe you bring your hands down to the mat and you come into a deeper forward fold. Or you stay in your halfway lift position, hands on the hips, hands together at heart center. Have a slight bend in your knees. Make sure you are not locking out your knees. Stay very strong in each of your legs. Come all the way up to stand with strong legs. Turn towards the front of your mat. Hands plant down, step back to down dog. Come up to the top of your mat. Feet meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold down. Over the legs. Come all the way up to stand. Reach up, grow tall. Hands come down at heart center. Let's stand on the right foot. Bring the left leg. We're going to come into standing pigeon. You're going to bring the left ankle over the right thigh. Taking a moment to find your balance. And then you're going to sit down into like a chair pose. If you like, you can start to bring the forearms, the elbows, down towards the left foot and the left knee. Otherwise, you can stay higher up in the pose. Let's come up to stand and release. Other side. Come right into it whenever you're ready. Right ankle over the left thigh, just above the knee. Stay lifted or come down lower, hinging from the hips, folding over. Bringing the elbows to the knee and the foot of your right leg. Come all the way up to stand, and we're going to do that again and try different variations. So shake out your legs, take a break, take a couple of breaths here. Then from here, come back into pigeon. And try to lift the ankle, your left ankle that is on your right thigh. Try to lift it up towards the ceiling and hold here. One more breath. Lower it down and lift it. Let's try that again. Lower it down, come up to stand. Let's move on to the other side right away. So come into the pigeon, standing on your left leg, right shin comes over the left thigh. And then as you're ready, try to lift the right ankle up towards the ceiling. Holding right here. Lower it down. And then lift it, holding here for 2 more big breaths in and out through the nose. Lift it up a little bit more towards the ceiling. Stay nice and tall with your spine, shoulders over the hips. Release it, come up to stand, shake it out. From here, top of the mat once again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold down. Over the legs, inhale, halfway lift, plant your palms down, step back to plank, come back to your downward facing dog. Let's bring the knees down, take a child's pose, big toes together. Knees as far apart as you like them. Resting here for about 5 breaths. Breathe in and out through your nose and allow your breath to ground you. Allow your breath to take you into this present moment. Come up into a tabletop now. Take your time to get there. Let's step the right foot through. As you're ready, in between the hands, reach your arms up. Come into your low lunge. One more breath. Bring your hands down, step back into tabletop and come into your low lunge on the other side. A left foot steps through. Arms can reach up. Back toes can be untucked. One more breath here. Bring your hands down to the mat, step back into tabletop. And let's extend the right leg out so the foot is off of your mat. Tuck the left toes under and sit the hips back towards the left heel. You can stay here, or you can walk your hands further out in front of you. Rest your forehead down onto the mat. One more breath. Start to walk the hands back in, lifting up, make your way back to tabletop and come into that stretch on the other side. Extend the left leg out, your left foot is off of your mat. Tuck the right toes under, sit the right hip back to the right heel. You can leave the hands where they are or walk them farther out, resting the forehead down to the mat. Finding this nice stretch for the left inner thigh. Maybe also the hamstring, into the hips and the glutes as well. Breathe here for 2 more big breaths. Slowly take your time to come back into your tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Sit back into a child's pose once again. Knees can be as far apart as you like them. Settle in for just 3 breaths here. Breathing in and breathing out through the nose. One more big breath. Fill up your lungs on your inhale, and on your exhale, let it all go. Make your way from your child's pose to lie all the way down onto your back. And then from here, bend your knees. Take your feet towards the edges of your mat, just like we began class, and take your knees from side to side. If there's any other poses you would like to do, you can take that now. Maybe a twist, a happy baby, or a bridge pose. Otherwise, make your way into Shavasana. Legs extend long. Arms take up lots of space. Head rests down onto the mat. Notice how you are feeling at the end of class. Notice what is going on for you at this time, in this moment. Any thoughts, sensations, feelings, emotions, any distractions. Do your best to observe what you can observe without judgment, without labeling things as good or bad, right or wrong. Release any expectations of this class, of what you thought would be included in it and what wasn't included in it. Release any expectations for your day. Take your day as it comes. And take your yoga practice as it comes. Find what works for you. Find what feels really good for you and take that. And know that that is the best thing that you can do. Stay here in your body with your breath and rest in your Shavasana. Feel your belly rise as you inhale and lower back down as you exhale. Thank yourself for making it to your mat. For taking this time out of your busy day to look after and to deeply care for yourself, for your mind, for your body. To take care of yourself so that then you can take care serve those around you. Notice how as your body finds this stillness in your Shavasana, maybe your mind will eventually as well, if it has not already. Take your time here in your Shavasana. Please stay here for as long as you need to. Enjoy this rest for your body and your mind. I hope you enjoyed working on cultivating hip strength and mobility with me. Thank you so much for joining me to practice. And if you did enjoy this class, I would love it if you shared it with a friend, commented or subscribed, or hit the like button. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day.